So let's see. I got a 4. Thomas, what happened last time?
Okay, so last time we got boarded by a group of Reavers. We talked slash guilted our way out of being held hostage, and then we flew to Elixabeth, where our payday was, and we held up shop for about 2 weeks, I think, or something like that. We held up for a little while, maybe 3 weeks, and waited for our rendezvous with Yukon. And we got our credits and we hung out for a while. We talked to the barkeep. We talked to some soldiers that were on the planet, and we gained some information. And then we went to the surface of Elixabeth. We were in the spaceport for most of those 3 weeks, and then we went to the surface of Elixabeth, and we met up with Yukon, and he revealed that for exchange of a jump to drive, if we track down this AI system that he thinks is going to end civilization as we know it, if we track it down and destroy it, he'll give us a jump to drive. And then we started making our way back to Bowman.
Yep, that's right. Now, we're going to start tonight not on our way back to Bowman, so this will be kind of retro, maybe active from when that departure occurred. So, rolling back the clock just a little bit, here you are, and there's a couple of things that we need to decide, but we'll do it on the ship, so we'll say you're in space. So here you are, and let's just hop right into a conversation that kind of started in the Discord chat, and we'll say it just kind of bled over into let's just have it on the ship right now. And I think the bit to me, the big question, the first one is, for the things you're about to get into, can you still be of help, or would you even want to be of help to Isabella and Velez and their people that are on Flammarion? Do you want to keep them on as crew? Do you want to boot them off right now while you're in Imperial space and you're at an Imperial space station? Or keep them on, or try to find...
What do they want to do?
Yeah, okay, so let's... the cockpit's kind of terrible, so let's put you all in this still fairly cramped galley. I'd say that's probably the coziest place on the ship.
I seem to recall we hired them with the intention that especially Isabella would serve as sort of a diplomat, an envoy for us when appropriate. It's just that we haven't really had much occasion for that since she got started in that role. Talking to those Reavers last time would not have been the chance for it, so...
Yeah, since we stopped interacting with official people, that role kind of has fallen into retirement.
Well, the question is, what does Isabella now think of the Imperium and their chances out here? I'll share with her, she's aware of everything we're aware of, that they're that they're moving their forces elsewhere. She's aware, she's seen the injustice of the Iterati. She's seen that the sword worlders are not the whatever. She's seen a lot. So is she willing to be just that, to be the actual liaison for our ship and agree to go along with whatever it is that the crew decides is going to be the direction of our ship and help us out directly, or is it going to always be as an agent of the Red Sun or the Imperium, with Imperial sympathies and stuff like that,
Yeah.
She'd have to answer that before we could decide whether we want to actually keep her on.
Now, if you'll all recall, your characters would know, except for Doc Ocean, which is why I want to bring this up. You've actually had this exact conversation with her before. And in that conversation, she emphasized that she is a loyal citizen of the Imperium. She would do absolutely nothing to ever betray the Imperial authorities, and that's just an absolute non-starter. So that was the last time you had talked to her about it. Now you pose this question, Bellamy, and Velez kind of interjects and takes that flag up immediately, and he says, "Captain, we are loyal citizens of the Imperium, and we would never betray the Imperium. And frankly, it is unconscionable that you would consider doing so as well." He gets real heated.
Hitler just kind of sips some badly brewed coffee and says nothing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the same Imperium that left you out to dry in a place where you were most needed, in a place they've let go to complete crap. And what are we talking about exactly? Right now, we have to do a mission for Imperial intelligence, one way or the other. We need that Jump 2 drive. There's no other way we can afford it. It's our quickest way out of this hellhole. It serves both our purposes. So, I don't know about what the rest of the crew thinks, but in terms of this AI and everything, I say we do exactly what Yukon wants us to do. And just, what else? It's not. Who else do we have to trust, right? McClellan, or this Yahoo down in Squalia that we're going to work for, or,
Velez. He says, "You don't even know the man. How do you even know that he is an Imperial intelligence agent? The first time you met him, he was a corporate goon and at the heart of all the problems that were being caused in Iterate."
Yeah, but he wants us to report it to Imperial intelligence, not back. He wants us to give it to them or destroy it, right? He didn't say give it to him. Why would he say that?
At this, Isabella, tries to kind of interject with Velez and says, "It's true, Velez, that what we came out here to find is not. It's different than what we expected, and I do think that some of this is unclear. But one thing is clear, that what the captain said and what this man on that planet said is true. That the Imperium, the actual naval forces, the relief that we were promised, those things aren't coming. They're not coming to District 268 or Iterate. And with that...
Folks, what do you think?
Yeah. No, let's go around the table. But I'm going to get my reaction dice ready.
I agree with the captain. I don't think I agree that maybe trusting anyone right now isn't the greatest, but we don't really have a lot of choices. So I think we should go do our mission with the AI and see what happens.
All right. Yeah, let's what about Chapman?
Well, I think we should encourage them to stick around, at least for this next mission. This AI thing, as I see it, is basically in the Imperial interest. That should be something they can get on board with. I get that Yukon might not be formally employed by the Imperium, but as I understand it, are the Red Sun, or are they more like affiliated with them, right? Like, he has just as much connection to the Imperium as these two do, so surely they understand just the matter of loyalty. Outside of trying to reason with them, I'm just amazed, like, how do you develop such a strong, like, point of identity with the Imperium, like this really decentralized, like, political entity? Like, where do you get all that from?
I mean, Velez?
That might be a topic of conversation I'll bring up outside of this debate. But
he's from core. He's from the core, right?
That's right.
Yeah,
So
I
he's
guess.
he's,
Yeah.
I'm
he's
just
that
like,
is that's
you
the
gotta,
Imperial subsector. For him, it's
you
home.
gotta understand, like out here, the Imperium is more of an abstract concept. Like it's a thing that exists on paper for a lot of people, but not really in practice.
He
Like
says, that's exactly what we're coming out here to change. No one thought this would be easy, he says that to Isabella.
Well, the Duke of Iterate has his own ideas, it seems.
yeah, I
And
just
so
I
do
don't
other
see
and
that
so
guy
do
as
other
being
people.
representative of the Imperium. You know, like I see these as separate issues.
Shipley, what do you think?
I think that this AI thing seems to be the kind of threat that would unite, various factions. And yeah, I definitely think that it's in the Imperium's best interest for us to go after this anyway. It seems like some of these corporations are taking advantage of the Imperium's, the fact there aren't a lot of boots on the ground out here to get some shady stuff. And especially since there aren't enough Imperial forces to address kind of threat. Us and Yukon, who just, loyal Imperial citizens who are working with the kinds of things we have to hand and make sure that this terrible threat doesn't disrupt life in the sector any further. And if we happen to get paid, well, I'm sure we're all doing this out of the goodness of our hearts.
Yeah, at that...
Bellamy breaks out into applause, like spontaneously.
at that, Lothak, like, sheepishly raises a paw. Can I talk? That's real
Lothak,
awkward
you're
for
part of
her.
this crew. Go.
Yeah. Yes, Walston is still my home, and if it's true that there's something out there that they plan on using some kind of weapon in Iterate, this is too close. This is too close to home, and I want to find out where it is, and I want to try to stop this.
And Doc?
Yeah, I'm on board with finding this AI and taking it down and getting that jump 2 drive. I'm just a simple doctor trying to make my way back home, and the fastest way to do that is to get that jump 2 drive to get back to Rauenor one day. So I'm on board with finding this AI and doing Yukon's mission.
All right. I'm going to give it to Shipley. I felt like that was the very compelling argument. So, Shipley, you can roll under your social, and you can subtract 4 from the result.
Okay.
This is for Isabella and Velez, who seem kind of reserved so far, pensive.
Okay, so that'll be 5 minus 4 is... No. Hang on.
Yes.
7 minus 4 is...
3.
2? 3. I can do math.
Is that under your social?
Yes.
I know it sounds like a silly question, but somebody over here's got a 4 socials.
That's me. That's
Oh,
me. That's
yes.
why I'm glad it's her as well, because I think her social is 8. if I
Nice.
remember
My social is
correctly.
8, yes.
I have a 3.
That's
Yeah.
I was thinking
No,
of it.
I think with Marcello's absence, she is now essentially, unless Isabella stays, she's our best social.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, that's a very compelling argument, and at this, Isabella turns to Velez and she says, "Velez, I understand your concerns. It ought to be obvious to all of us by now that there are gray areas here that we didn't anticipate. There are things that we just weren't aware of about the Spinward Marches. But here we are, and our mission was to make a difference here. And furthermore, Shipley and others have a very important point. that if we should sit here and speak about duty and loyalty to the Imperium, we have to take seriously this threat. And after all, Shipley and Bellamy, didn't you say that you saw this AI with your own eyes?
We got to know it a little bit.
Yes, we didn't know what it was at the time, but we did encounter it.
Yes, we had a nice conversation with it.
A nice conversation with something that it's written ancient lore horror stories about things that AI did in the past. It's a violation of the greatest, highest laws of our society for it to even exist. Well, Mr. Velez, that to me is the proof that we need, not whether or not Yukon is an Imperial agent or his intentions or anyone else's. If this AI is on the loose and it's being traded between hands, between corporate agents and freelancers and criminals and terrorists, and we have a duty to do what we can to aid this crew to track it down. And then she turns to, everybody else and she says, I want you to promise me, since you were once enlisted in Imperial service, that you'll act on that same oath now. I understand we may come to a disagreement on exactly what that means later, but so long as we continue to stay aboard, Velez and I will help you as best we can, as long as you have the interests of the Imperium at heart. If not, we will forget what we'd heard here, accept that AI is loose, which admittedly we will report to the authorities, and we would ask that you drop us off at the nearest Imperial port.
Sounds like we're in agreement.
Velez is like rubbing both sides of his temple. This whole thing is just not going the way, he had imagined 6 months, almost a year ago now. And anyways, Isabella says, I agree. Then,
okay, so
we'll resume our duties if you'll have us, Captain.
Welcome aboard, once again.
My next question is, how do we find this thing?
Well, we have to go to Squalia for that. We know who we delivered it to.
That does seem like a starting point, but isn't your job in Squalia to specifically betray that man?
Yes, I think there's a nice synergy here, don't you?
She rubs her temple, and I remind it's interesting what a free trader imagines as a synergy or an opportunity. I think it takes the mind of a businessman.
This guy never paid us, and I will never forget that. So he promised, he left us with nothing but the promise of some future work, and we did a extremely dangerous, extremely successful mission for him, in which we nabbed this AI from a secret McClellan laboratory and delivered it to him.
I would like to suggest that if we do foresee too many complications resulting from your prior history with this guy, there are members of this crew who have never met them before, and we can just approach them separately.
He's expecting us to come back and look for work.
Okay.
That's how we left things with him. Was he knows that we're angry because he never paid us, but apparently that's a reputation that he has, is somehow figuring out how to get people to do jobs and not pay them.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted me and Books to approach him separately and be like, yeah, we heard that you sell really advanced AI that could do a lot of damage. We were in the market for such a thing. Do you know where we could...
You might get yourself killed. I think this guy represents a rather powerful local concern in Squalia and is friendly with the locals there. And that's the impression that I got. McClellan is considered the bad guy, and all external corporate interests, if I remember correctly. We got into some bar fights, I think, on Squalia. If I don't know, there was some hostility. There was open hostility there, if I remember correctly. But anyway, the guy said that he had a promise of work for us in Bowman. That's what he said. So not only do we have a perfect excuse to go to him, get a job, and then leave, we also have the perfect excuse to completely screw him over.
Squalia, you mean? Yeah, he's in.
No, our former patron, the guy who sent us on the AI job in the first place, like, that's the guy we need to go and contact. Because he said,
Van Parlandlith. He said he had a job in Bowman, but he's in Squalia. Yeah.
Right. So we have to return to Squalia to know what that job in Bowman is. So we have a perfect opportunity to contact him, or an excuse rather. And I figure we just go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, perfect. Yeah, you and Books should absolutely do it, because it'll give you a perfect chance to snoop around, see what his operation's like, and and then later on we can come around looking for work, the job that we were promised. How's that sound to everybody?
I'm good with that.
Sounds good to me.
You just have to make sure you're not with us when we come back around later on.
All right. Now, this I was going to resolve in chat, but it seems like a big enough thing. I just want to go around the table and make a decision. We'll just make it democratic. 5.5 million credits. What are we doing? I'm just
Put it all on black.
Put it all
Let's
on.
double our winnings.
Forget all this. Go to Flammarion. Put it all in one bet.
How far towards upgrading our power, the power of our engine will that go?
Oh, well, okay. So, do we get trade-in value for our current power plant?
I'll say it's half. That was my policy in old sci-fi games, whereas I don't know why, but this is how my brain simulates this. In D&D, I randomize it. I sort of make that represent bartering. In sci-fi, I say it's half, as if it were aftermarket or used.
Okay, so a new power plant rating B is 16 mega credits, 16 million credits. We need that power plant before we can use that jump drive. But the other question is, we can pay a hunk of that and then just get a larger mortgage, right?
I will say that you can also refinance your ship.
Yeah. But in order to get any of that, of course, we have to go back to probably Flammarion. I mean, I don't know if this pirate base has a spare rating B power plant sitting around for sale. If they do, I guess we could go there, or just leave the lady there and have them do the work if they have that part. But if not, we have to make it back to Flammarion or some other place that has a shipyard.
Yes, you would. You would have to go to a shipyard, and those are all Imperial owned, by the way, which we'll go back to later. Shipley, so just to clarify, you're saying, well, you were just asking a question, so actually go ahead.
Yeah, because I remembered that that was a large investment we had in the future, so I was wondering what, I thought we should consider that before we thought about splitting up the money. So half resale value on our current power plant plus, call it 5 million credits, plus a refinancing would put us well within the financial ability to upgrade a power plant. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to lay out all of our cash.
She said 5 mil, so that leaves a whole 500,000. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, you're correct.
Okay. Then if we're gonna, I would say, put the 5 million towards this, so that when we get the jump drive, assuming we do, we can have the ability to actually employ it and use it.
Nice.
I know that's not the flashy answer.
Well, no, I mean either one. That brings up the next question, which is, are we going to keep renting this ship to do these jobs, or use the lady? Like, do you want to go to Squalia from here, or we can't actually make it straight to Squalia from here, but I guess the answer is no, right? We want to get back to the lady, and it's only one, like the lady's in Bowman, so.
Yeah, I think we should just get back to the lady.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because in the neighborhood that we're going to be doing a lot of this work, we don't need a jump to drive, I don't think. Unless it turns out that, I don't know, our hunt for this AI is going to take us all the way out, like somewhere really far away.
Let me also say, so it would be a really good idea to get return fire software. Ross specified that we have targeting software, which is just the bare thing that we need to actually use the gun, like to target another ship. We don't have gunner interact, which allows a person to actually add their gunnery skill to the roll. And we don't have return fire, which effectively doubles our fire rate. And there's a ton of other stuff we could also get that it goes up and up and up. But if we were to just get return fire, that's 500,000 right there. Gunner interact is $1 million. So we're never going to run out of things to spend money on, I guess, is what I'm saying. But if we want to actually make the best use of that new cannon we've got, it would be... and it's a double turret, is it? What is it? A single turret?
It's a single turret. I'm
Pulse laser?
I'm of a mind that could be altered later, like the maybe the emplacement could be altered, but yeah, single turret, pulse laser, and off the top of my head, unless you have something from the ship construction section, my thought is that if you are away on a planet like Squalia, you could, if you are at an Imperial starport, it might be possible to purchase that software and have it installed while you're gone.
Let me also say that a double turret costs 500,000. So we could actually, I don't want to say that Shipley's wrong at all.
Well, if we're going to refinance,
if we were crazy,
how much could we, like, what's...
We could really juice this gun up. We could really juice it up.
I think the return software is probably, like, we're going to need that. I think we've already seen in encounters that's going to be essential. As for upgrading it, I guess we have, like, 3 pools of money here. I guess we have the resale value of our current power drive, we have our cash pool, and we have our refinancing options. And then it comes down to how we want to balance how much we want to put on the refinance, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's going to put pressure on how much money you need to make once that jump to drive is there. Like, you'll have to imagine needing to pay $310,000 per pay period instead of $186,000.
Yeah.
Do we want to start in, like, Traveler Roleplay a wish list of investments to start saving up for? Like, even if it's not stuff that we spend money on immediately.
And actually, let's put a pin in that discussion, because we can't do any of this until we actually get to Bowman anyway.
So
until we get the lady, but...
Well, I will say that there is a bit of a fork in the path here. So there is a decision point. Option A: actually delay all of this and go to Flammarion now, and, like, put the ship back into dry dock and refinance everything and get it all ready, and then, and then add into that a double turret, maybe with a sandcaster. I don't know how much is a sandcaster more expensive. It probably is, isn't it?
No, Sandcaster's 250.
Oh, there you go. So you could, right off the bat there, you can trade in, you can modify this thing and have like a pulse laser with a sandcaster, which you've seen how huge that is, because you can screen incoming laser fire on one round, assuming you don't run out of, and it's like a -5 to hit or something like that. And then you could get your software and blah blah blah. So you could just divert and go do that right now. Another option is, but you don't know how much time you have to.
we could add a hard point. We could add another turret. We could add a missile rack.
Yeah, you could turn this thing into a monster with some refinancing.
But that would,
and turning
like I
things
said,
in
that would
and-
be crazy. I think that would be crazy. I think that would be unwise. But I'm just saying, we actually, if we wanted to be crazy, we could. The cash we have we could make this into a beast.
Yeah. So going off to Flammarion is an option. Option A. Option B. Head to Squalia to Squalia or Bowman, and just have the software installed for your cannon so that you can return fire and use the gunner skill, or one or the other. Or probably
So the pirates will have that software for sale.
They will not, but Imperial ports will. So if you land at Alpha Garrison, if you can get that clearance, and Squalia, I will say, will have it at the starport. So while you're away at Squalia, you can just pay for the software to be installed.
Yeah.
And then option C is, let's not worry about any of this until we do the job and get the AI back.
I think getting the return fire installed is something we should do as soon as possible. So
I
like
support
option
upgrading
B.
the ship or embarking on the dangerous mission.
How much would it delay us, though, if we do option B as opposed to just getting the job done? Like, how much time would that put on
wouldn't.
it?
It's
Because
the same time.
yeah, presumably you're going to be on the planet doing your thing, for however many days. So you'll come back and it'll be done, and you'll have just paid the fee to do all that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely down with option B then.
All right, Doc, what do you think?
I'm also down for option B, getting the return fire software imported before we go out on the mission to retrieve the AI.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds like that's settled. So here you are in space. So let's see. And once again, just as a reminder, if you don't have travelermap.com up in another tab, you should probably do that. I'm not going to use it in Foundry.
You can
Excellent.
get them
I'll
to
post
be a
it.
sponsor of the YouTube channel. Like,
Travelermap.com. Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of the anyways. Let's see, Elizabeth. So you're gonna jump to Dratrillion again, right? And then back to Bowman and then to Squalia, or Walston
That
to
is-
Squalia?
That would be interesting, but no, we have to go to Bowman because we need to
Oh,
get
you
the
have
lady.
you have to turn your ship in and get the lady back. Yeah.
Yeah, we could take
Okay.
a detour through Walston, and
That's-
that might be nice, but that'll probably be a
No.
huge distraction. Yeah.
All right, so let's see what happens when you go out in space. Nice. Nothing happens. You go out to the safe jump distance, and you get everybody bolted into their restraints and with their vac suits on, and armed, vac suits sealed, at their stations, and at this point, we need 2 rolls. I always do an engine health roll. This will matter if something happens. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure nothing will happen. But whoever is the engineer.
That would be me, right?
Yep.
Okay. So. Ugh.
Yeah, the engine health. This thing is a bucket, to be honest with you, and it's actually had like 3 or 4 of those results already. So yeah, it's probably. By the way, this thing does not leave. What is it called? There's interstellar and then there's interplanetary. This thing almost never leaves interplanetary travel. Its jump drive usually only gets used once or twice per standard imperial year. Yeah. So you're probably looking at this thing, books like it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Like you just got to get home at this point. Yeah, the engine does not look healthy. And then the navigator, if you could roll and keep your result to yourself, please.
You got it.
And you guys got a week in jump, other than the education for. I assume that you guys are going to continue education every 100 credits every single jump to do your education.
Yeah. We need 50 sessions to complete one thing, and we're going to have our 24th done by the end of this.
Wow.
Which means I think we're have midterms coming up.
This is when I usually withdraw from the course with a nice big W on my record. No F's for me, suckers. Dodged that. Anyways, I mean, you know by midterms whether or not you need to take that exam. All right.
If you're wise.
So you come up on the time. Once again, everybody's bolted in, vac suits on, sealed up, armed, and everybody's got their restraints on. You exit jump space into space again. What was the result of the navigation check?
6.
All right. Let me look. I think you have to roll really bad for that to matter.
I believe that's the case, yes.
If you're a scout ship, -2 to the dice modifier. That's interesting. Which is a good thing, which would be like a +2 for you. And you're not using unrefined fuel, and you're not jumping dangerously close to a planet.
You said you flipped it around, and so it's the...
So you'd
do
add
it the
2.
other-
Yeah, you'd add 2 to your dice modifier. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you make it out into space, and the first thing you do is you scan the area. Let's see here. Nice. Oh, hey, I was going to ask you this, Father Chris. What is that Traveler Planet solar system website again? I can't remember.
Traveler Worlds.
You're like, if you had T5, you wouldn't have this problem, Ross.
No, I'm not like that. I promise. T5 is like the Jedi manuals or whatever it is that Yoda set fire to. It's like it's all the wisdom in the world, but not exactly a page turner. And but I have great reverence for it. I'm like Luke in that way. Sacred texts.
That wasn't a half bad Mark Hamill. Have you practiced that?
No, but it sticks in my mind like a chicken bone does in the craw. It's hard to get rid of. Do I sound bitter at all?
How do you select one of the existing star systems, the Trillion?
Oh, Well, if you take the planet, I mean, I don't know, but take the planet code and just input it.
Oh, okay. No, I don't want the planet though. I want the solar system. And I have a random solar system. I'm just going to use this for now. Actually, I think I have the Trillion. Actually, that's right. And then Trillion. Trillion, yes. No, that's Elizabeth. Trillion is a. Oh, right. Yeah, the Trillion Prime. It is a single star system, M1 red dwarf star, and the Trillion Prime is actually at the gas giant. So, what did you roll on your result for your nav check? I'm sorry.
I got a 6.
A 6, and then you add 2, you get an 8, right? So with an 8, you do a great job with the help of being in a scout vessel. Another advantage of a scout vessel. And you arrive. Uh, 7 hours away from the world, which in this case is actually quite good because it's part of a gas giant's system.
Ross,
it's a moon.
Ross, if you go to the drop down, you click on Trillion on Traveler Maps, and you extend. You go to the bottom of that left-hand bar, and it says Generate World Map, care of Traveler 5 World Builder, and it'll take you directly to the Traveler World site and do it for you there.
Yeah, but where do you do the solar system? That's...
Well, if you scroll down under the world, it'll have that stuff too. Won't it? Or am I...
See that.
Okay.
Oh well, I will figure that out. But anyways, I appreciate that. That's a lot better than the thing I was using. Okay, so 7 hours out, and you don't encounter anything, and you have a peaceful voyage to Trillion. Now, Trillion only has a low port, and it's a moon of this gas giant.
As I recall, last time we were here, there was some complication that took them, what, like 2 days to refuel our ship?
Yep.
Hope that's not the case again, but if it is, we might have to go back to school.
It takes 2 days, and it costs twice as much here. And they have advisories at the starport that warn spacers, do not go to the gas giant, do not use your scoops. They claim it's dangerous. So what do you do for 2 days?
Stay off the streets. Don't talk to sword worlders.
don't talk to strangers.
Is this the place we got into a gunfight less than 5 minutes after landing?
Yes.
Okay. So as long as we don't beat that record, I think we're doing good.
Speed run to Trillion. Get into a duel any percent.
All right. Yeah. So do you all just go to the hotel and hunker down, stay at the hotel bar?
That's what I would like to do.
Oh, books.
But if anyone wants to go out, I will say I will demand that I chaperone.
The fate of the Imperium hangs in the balance, but Books is just going to die in one of these dusty alleyways here.
No
one's ever going to find out about the.
I've got your back. I'm not gonna cramp your style, but you need my sword at your side. It's just all there is to it.
I appreciate that. I guess I'll behave and go to the hotel.
All right. You have one check on your way there. You see a person, so you're going from the starport to, and this thing is under this dome, as I described before. So you're walking from the starport to the hotel outside the star town, and you see this guy pacing back and forth in a rolled down vac suit. He's got a beard, and it's clear that he is not from this world. And judging from a 1G physique, I guess I've kind of taken on this like how it is in Expanse. It looks like he's a traveler. And he comes up to you and he's like, "Oh, did you just come into the system? Yeah, you're travelers."
What of it?
Hear me out. Please don't walk away yet. Please. You guys you're just gonna walk away? He's like, please hear me out.
I'll put up five fingers and I'll start counting down.
No. I'm a traveler too. I need to get off the world. You don't have to pay me. I swear to God, I can work on engines. Skills list.
The guy pulls out his character sheet and hands it over.
Yeah. It's true.
You can actually do that in Traveler.
Yeah, there's in-world forms, and they have that stuff, and that's exactly what you would give to someone.
As you can see, I have 1 rank in Cutlass.
Yeah,
I mean, the military operates the exact same way. You got all your quals on a handy-dandy little card, like M249, 2-ton truck.
Official, an OMB file, official military brief.
Yeah.
You just hand it over and it's got your mug on it and everything. Let's see here.
3 intelligence.
Right, maybe you don't want to hand it over. Let's see. He has got... he can do ship stuff. It looks like he was in the Merchant Marines, and he is in fact an engineer. He also can operate a ship's boat. He's good at using a vac suit, and he's got jack of all trades.
Well, first of all, you said we don't have to pay you. Does that mean you're not going to pay us? You're the one who needs passage off world, right?
Yeah, I don't have any money. I got stuck here. I can't be here. I just got to get off this planet.
Okay, none of that's good news. Sounds like you're hunted. Sounds like you're...
I'm not hunted. No. It's all above board. I just... Look, have you
Why
seen...
can't you stay here? Why...
You're the only ship that's come in here in days.
Are you looking for a job?
I would take a job. But look, I'll find some money if you could just get me out of here.
I mean, there's such a thing as paying for your room and board by working, but like, do we need anybody? Like,
you would also have to either triple bunk, or he would have to sleep on the deck. It also is very expensive to pay for life support. It's like thousands of credits.
We could trade Lothak for him.
Oh, please, don't even joke.
You gotta watch out saying that. They'll trade books instead.
Like, do we have any vacancies at our staff? Like, sure, you could do ship stuff. So we all do ship stuff. Like,
well, it never hurts to have. Well, I don't know. We are kind of full up anyway.
Do we have any like unaccounted for ship stuff on the ship that we've been neglecting all this time?
Can I get a look at this guy? I mean, you say he's a former merchant marine. Like, what is his face? Is he shifty? What's he trying to do right now? Or is he telling the truth? Is he just desperate to get out?
Both. He does look like he's pretty washed up. Like, his days of being a merchant marine are long behind him. You see him licking his lips. Yeah. That leads you to think maybe he's got something he likes. Something. I don't know what the equivalent is off the top of my head. I'll come up with it later. But drugs. What am I talking about? There's a whole section. Drugs. It's got a whole chapter. He's probably a drug addict, actually. And that being said, also it is obvious looking at him, like he is a traveler. in a vac suit, and something happened. He got thrown off the ship, or forgot to show up for muster, or something happened, and he got left here.
I mean, we could use a janitor. I wouldn't mind us all getting to take a break from chores for the next week.
Yeah. Well, how are you about cleaning air filters? Are you good at that?
I'm great at cleaning air filters.
All right,
I
you're
did
hired.
that. Thank you. You're not going to regret it. The name's Elias. You'll see. Now, you don't have a bunk, to be clear, unless somebody triple bunks, and unless somebody literally sleeps in the same bunk or sleeps
Well,
on
I
the
mean,
floor.
What about Marcello? Would that even out?
Yeah, good point. I mean, I'm not going to do the math. I mean, you had Marcello, so yes, I agree. Actually, that's a good point.
I'm gonna ask, I'm gonna take Lothak aside and ask her to keep a sharp nose on him.
You can see her proprioceptors flare at the edges of her eyes and her mouth. Before you even told her that, she doesn't like the smell of this guy.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make sure that that she makes him as nervous as possible.
Yeah.
I want to see if something's gonna come out of him.
She, given how kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, pathetic, I guess he's acting, this makes Lothak even more mad, and she just sidles right up next to him and just looks at him, and does indeed make him very uncomfortable. Hi, I'm Elias. What's your name? And she just
that's Lothak.
lowers. Yeah, you answer for her.
Yeah. She's our friend. I don't know. What does that mean? Does that mean she likes you? I can never quite tell with these Vargar, you know.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, it's good to meet you all. So when are we shipping out?
As soon as we get refueled.
Oh. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
2 days.
Anybody want to cover my hotel?
No. What were you doing? Were you been sleeping on the street for as long as you've been here? What's going on?
He doesn't answer, but he just looks into the street in the little cubby pile that he's made there, and that's exactly what he's been doing.
I'll let him sleep on my floor.
Oh, thanks.
So generous.
Well, get to work on those filters. I mean, that's if you can get that place smelling good by the time we leave, then I'll think better of you.
All right, Captain. He gives an actual salute, and
Okay.
he does. He works on the filters and sleeps on the floor at the hotel at
I'm
Brooks's
wary.
room.
I'm nervous.
And if you just go to the hotel, that's your only encounter until you go back.
Isabella would be proud. We've done good today.
So you spend a couple of days there, and then you head back. And I'm gonna just start with I'm gonna use a ship icon because I don't have anything else for now. And those multi-armed people, a bunch of them are in the street.
Darians? Do they have multiple? I mean, I guess I have multiple arms.
Just discovered that I have multiple arms. No, it's a good point.
Most of us have multiple arms, but sorry, Darians, the space elves, do they also have an abnormal number of arms? I didn't write that in my notes.
Yeah, no, these aren't Darians. They're what someone else called indigents.
Yes.
Or indigines. And as you start making your way down the alleyway to the starport, you see a scene of, let me see here, utter chaos. And people are being thrown into businesses and into walls and punched on the ground, and you think there's only moments here, and the whole way to the starport's blocked right now. This happens 70 yards ahead of you. Duck Ocean, what do you think? What do you think you all should do?
My opinion is to go back to the hotel until this quiets down and come back later.
You can do that. Okay. Yeah, you leave and spend up until the evening, and your ship is fueled. There it is.
Can we? There's a spaceport here. Can we buy that software here and then just because it'd be like a loading, like a cartridge or something like that, right?
They do not have that service here at the starport.
Okay.
Do we have any cargo?
Well, your cargo bay is full of a prospector buggy.
Yeah, we don't have.
Right.
This is not. Yeah, cargo's just not.
I've forgotten that many times as well. This is so weird to me.
Yeah, you're flying around in like a bulldozer. Not a bulldozer, but like a sensor thing for mining. Yeah, but anyways, you head out into space. Go ahead and make another engineering and navigation check.
7.
7. It's pretty good. You think maybe Elias actually maybe worked on the ship? It's possible. It's inexplicable that it so, and it smells better in here too.
Finds all this like old bubble gum that's underneath the pilot's console. Captain had been leaving there for weeks.
I'll begrudgingly thank him and tell him he did a good job.
He's exhausted from sleeping on floors and in galleys and stuff, and on ship decking and everything. He's like, "Oh yes, yeah, Captain." And he
How old is he?
Probably your age.
Okay, that's sad.
You get a glimpse of your potential future.
Yes. Yeah, maybe that's why I despise him.
So you're able to get to a safe jump distance and put in the coordinates for Bowman, and charges up. Enter jump space. You're in jump space for a week. You do your education. Do you do anything else in the week?
I'll try
Well, keep an eye on Elias.
Yeah, I'll spend time talking to him and play good cop while Lothak is eventually. Is she like that all week, or does she kind of?
She's like that until you tell her to stop. She doesn't, She has found somebody who is actually a lower rung on the totem pole than her. So you pity this poor man then, because that's like, yeah.
Could I use this time to like reach out to any contacts I have and see if I could find out anything about Elias? Like if I send a message to a friend that I served with, run his name through the system, that kind of thing.
You can't do it in jump space, but you could do it when you get back to Bowman. That is a place where you could do it.
Okay.
At Königsrock, you could do that. Remind me when you get there.
Okay, I will.
Because because information is at the speed of travel, so you'd have to send it out on like a ship faster than the one we have, and it would have to go out like in multiple directions.
Yeah, even though
That's
people travel in starships in this game, information is passed at the bar, not by cell phones.
That's right. Yeah. I knew that, but for some reason I thought you could still get messages, but I'm just realizing now that doesn't make any sense. Because that would defeat
there's no subspace communication, and
Everything seems very consistent about that, except I still don't understand the whole, like, you can just pay for your mortgage no matter where you are, no matter when or why. Like, that breaks all
Well,
the rules. Like,
Yeah.
that works because, I mean, if it's in lore, the only reason that works is because of the Imperium. That's one of the reasons that the Imperial Navy does what it does, which is they don't care how you run your planet, just don't get in the way of the economy
Yeah, you have like
running
the
smoothly.
X-boat network for one thing. So you got these ships that, or at least jump 3, I think, right? The
X-boats are jump 6.
Jump
X-boats
6,
are jump. It's max Imperial technology. It's like
yeah.
core technology.
And then, other than the X-boat network, you have, in my mind, first of all, the banking
You have local
institutions,
mail carriers.
they're not going to be like, hey, you have to pay us right now. First of all, that would be impossible. So I don't think the consequences of skipping aren't going to catch up to you. And by the book's rules, the consequences of skipping are proportional to how far you are from where you bought it. So, like,
Right.
if you're far enough away, they may just not find you, or whatever. But anyways, so, yeah, you talked to Elias. He's.
But I just want one further point real quick. The consequences of skipping are that, except that the bounties are going to go out via the X-boat network. Like, if the bank decides to put a bounty on you, they're going to be like, get the info out, bounty hunters everywhere, look for this guy, like, and then you'll get paid. So, like, you'd have to outrun that before you could actually consider yourself far enough away to be safe, in my estimation.
I assume we explain all the finer points of this stuff to Elias to establish our credibility.
No, you're talking about all this in the galley with Elias. If you
Yeah.
do, Elias is nonplussed. Like, he's not bothered by it at all. Like,
Yeah.
he's just like,
Yeah, we're building rapport with him. He understands. He
He's
sees a kindred spirit.
he's sipping his engine wash tea, no problem. And anyways, Bellamy, if you talk to him, he tells you essentially that he has gone. He paints himself as a independent spaceman who is able to work with multiple crews, and you get the impression of somebody who has had there are a lot of short job durations on his resume where he finds gigs and finds work, and then something happens, he gets thrown off the crew or just leaves it. And in the last case, he said that he kind of forgot about when the ship was leaving, and then they kind of didn't bother to go find him.
I will do my best to appear sympathetic, but my social is 4.
There.
Like, it's everything I can do not to just get up from the table and walk away
You
without
can
a
just
word.
do that too.
I don't want to. This is me doing my best. I'm trying to turn
Aw.
a new leaf here.
All right. So, anyways, you spend a weekend jump, exit jump space. What was the result on your navigation check entering the Bowman system?
Rolled a 9, and I think you said +2 because it's our scout ship.
Nice. Yes. And your destination.
Killing it.
Now, I know this says the lady. Actually, I think I'm on the wrong page. Oh, here it is.
If you've been also, I haven't been hearing any music. I don't know if anybody else is.
I have.
It's on for me.
Yeah.
I hear music.
Oh, there
Yeah,
we go. I had to like touch the volume slider for it to start coming through.
And
Is the page loading for everybody else?
Yes, I see the lady.
I see the lady, yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Sight for sore eyes. A lot of nostalgia coming through right now.
Yeah. It's funny how that works, you know, you
So this is a matter of. Oh, I have to bring up the Bowman charts.
Mine's stuck on like 99%. It's not moving.
It might take it a while. It looked like
Yeah.
it looked like people weren't coming in because it shows what page you're on. So
There it is.
yeah,
There it is.
I'm not. Oh,
When I've had that issue, I just
starting to get
refresh.
it.
eventually, you just have to press escape and try restarting it, and it'll do it. I'm looking for the Bowman system information. Here we are. So there's good news and bad news. So the jump point is separate from the. Let me find here. Essentially, there's this. There's the Bowman is almost like a sector in micro, because there are millions of rocks, and there are probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of little concerns out here that people are using. And then there's big ones, and of that there's multiple ones. Because it's such a dense, because there are these asteroid systems, and the kind of centerpiece of the system is Bowman Prime, which is a gas giant with a planetary belt as a gas giant, and this big Trojan asteroid cluster and all this stuff. You can't jump right next to it, and it's very large, so the safe jump distance is far away. So the closest safe jump distance I have would be 17 hours, so I'm estimating 20 hours. So it's going to take 20 hours. And you have a safe journey for 20 hours. Let's see, so that took 2 days. There was a half day. So we take the half day plus that's 3 days plus 2 weeks. So 17 days. Okay. And you make it back to Königsrock. And my thing is loading. It's taking time to load. Alright, now Königsrock, you got lots of... You've been here before. This place is pretty rough and tumble. Lots of complications here. Lots of shops. Lots of things going on. At this point, you can just walk across town, turn this ship in, walk away and get a taxi. And take the... It'll probably take a day or two to get the taxi. You can go to a hotel. Are you trying to keep your head low, or are you going to go out to the bars? Or to shops, etc.?
I
mean,
feel
might
like...
get mugged.
What's that?
I said I feel like we might get mugged. Don't people here remember that we had a large payday recently? I mean, several months ago.
We're in the middle of a large altercation in a public setting where, what was it, like gangsters came out and gunned our guy down in the streets? After he had gone blabbing around about our big payday, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's maybe best just to... Well, first of all, are we going to keep Elias with us? My thought is no.
I mean, where was he trying to get to? He just needed out of Trillion,
He
right?
just
Like,
wanted
is he
out of
satisfied
Trillion.
with Königsrock?
Yeah, once you get here, if you start kind of discussing that, he's like, I could keep working. I'm a good engineer. I'm great at cleaning filters. I mean, usually that's a maintenance overhaul operation. You gotta spend a lot of extra money and clean filters. I don't ask for much, just a bunk, and I mean, I could go for half pay for an engineer. You're not gonna find that anywhere else. I know how to use. I know my way around a weapon, if you have a weapon that I could borrow.
That's good to know. I don't know. You know what? We'll talk about it and get back to you before we head out.
All right. Anybody got a little spare change for a hotel room till then?
How much is a hotel?
I think it's 30 credits. per
I'll
night.
give him 30 credits.
Oh, thanks.
Sad
Thanks.
sack.
It's. Do you say that in character?
Yes.
Aw. He just like.
I'll say it as I see like the rest of the crew reaching for, and I'll finally like, all right, fine, I'll give this
Reaction roll. We got a 5.
reaction roll.
You see him veer away from the hotel and head toward the bar.
Yeah.
You should send this guy over to the Sword Worlders. They'll straighten him out. I think he'd make a natural Viking.
He's got the bar. His bar sense is right up there. You've got to get his fighting sense up a little bit.
That might be the real test, right there.
All right. So hunkering down, is that the plan?
I
guess
think
so.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hate that this is our lifestyle now.
It's okay. It's you're staying focused on things, right? Like that's the bane of sandboxes is when you get distracted and you're like, no, we have a goal, we're doing a thing. Yeah. So okay. You make a trip. Oh yeah. You make 2 trips. One from the bar, or not from the bar, from the hotel and back. I just rolled them. No encounters. So you have a peaceful time at the hotel and the hotel bar and restaurant in Rockport. And you never hear from Elias again.
Okay. That's fine with me.
Like, ever? He's gone.
I suppose that remains to be seen, but you don't know where he went. And yeah, you're not sure.
I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna check the. Let's check the alleyways around the bar.
All right.
Is Lothak with us? Maybe she could, like.
Yeah. Hey,
smell up.
Lothak, can you scent out that sad sack?
Does.
Bet he was a spy. He's going back to report to, I don't know, the Karkanak or the Imperium or somebody.
This
That's
guy?
fair.
Nobody
Yeah.
hires this guy as a spy. I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. It's all a clever ruse. The whole thing. Man's never touched a drug or a drop of alcohol in his life.
Oh, look at Ross's face.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good thing.
That's what I'm telling you. He's right there on his table. It says secretly a spy of the Duke of Iterata. I'm sure it's right there in the rulebook.
Let's see. I'm gonna pick on Shipley. Roll a d6 for surprise.
Oh boy. Okay. Give me a second.
You have to get a 5 to surprise them. You got a 5.
Oh.
So you veer into this alleyway, and Shipley immediately you sense that something's off. Your spidey senses are going off. There are people coming around from other parts of the alleyway, and they have prepared for you to try to look for this person. What do? You got the drop.
Well, I'm gonna warn the rest of the crew first. And then, I guess I'm gonna like real slowly reach for my weapon.
Reach for it real fast.
Do we
Yeah,
need to engage with this? Do we care that much about Elias?
I feel like it's too late.
All right.
What's your and what would you like to do? Like, what's your intention or goal, Shipley?
Well, I'd like to get out of what looks like a very convenient trap.
You have the surprise round, so you could just run away if you wanted.
Sounds really appealing, actually. But no, I'm not gonna run. I'll get my weapon out and I'll warn the crew.
All right, you rolled you warned the crew and rolled a hit.
Yes.
Roll for damage.
Okay, I think that's 3 on my rifle.
Listen, on shot first, you know?
Put
Okay.
everybody together here.
7. Unmodified. What did?
Do you guys leave Velez and... Well, no, this is you trying to go back to the starport, so Velez and Isabella are with you.
Yeah.
Somebody maybe hang back with them and keep them from getting hurt.
I'll shove them down into cover or something.
Okay.
Or no, I'll tell Lothak to shove them down into cover and Mike. Yeah, are these people... What are they armed with?
Submachine guns. Oops. I can't see it. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I can't see.
Do we all have the drop on them? Or is it just Shipley and now we roll, or...
Sorry, I'm trying to get you there. And there you go.
Oh, okay, that's way different. I was like, geez, I gotta cover a lot of ground.
Yeah, so let's see. Shipley, you did how much damage?
7.
7 damage. You knock one of them unconscious right off the bat. And let's see. That also makes you the aggressor. And so they pull weapons out. This all happens in a matter of seconds. But everybody can attack if you wish to attack.
Yeah, it's cutlass time.
This is one of those planets where we can bring on pretty much any weapon.
Yeah,
I don't recall. Okay.
Absolutely.
Auto
Yeah.
rifle down.
You say that in character, Bellamy? It's cutlass.
Yes.
It's cutlass time.
Yes, I do.
I
I'm
came
taking psychic
here.
damage.
So I
Chew
just roll
bubble
for it
gum.
then, or...
And swing a cutlass. Yeah, exactly. You move up and attack if that's your goal.
I don't know what just happened.
It's going badly so far, it looks like.
Yeah, I rolled terrible.
I rolled a 6.
Doc
rolled an
Ocean
8.
gets a 10. Doc Ocean, roll for damage.
They teach you that in medical school.
An 8 hits too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, how?
6,
Yeah.
6 does not hit, right?
A 6 does not hit. Doc Ocean.
7.
What weapon are you using, Doc Ocean?
Rifle.
Okay, well you actually you don't kill him. Sorry, you knock one of them out as well. Collapses to the ground, bleeding, holding a wound, moaning. Yeah, and that cutlass. How much damage did you do with that?
I think it's 3d6, right?
Mm-hmm. I know that because the broadsword is the worst weapon, being the most terrifying weapon in the game. It does 46.
All right, 7.
7 damage. You severely wound another one. They are terrified, and they are going to try to grab who they can and flee. In this situation, I usually sum it up in 2 things. One is that you can shoot them again if you want and try to kill them. Second, you can try to pursue them, or you can just let them go.
I will pursue and kill.
One of them is Elias.
Oh, one of them is Elias.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Oh, yeah, gotta chop him down.
We gotta kill him. I mean, that's just a matter of principle.
roll to hit.
I can't blame the rest of these guys, but
All right, now I'm at a... That probably misses anyway. I don't think I have a +3. Well, let me see. Anyway, I don't want to bog it down.
Not looking good so far. Looking like they might get away. Yep, so far. Uh-oh. And yeah, and what did you get, Chapman?
I just got a 7. I don't know why it's still all saying Doc Ocean.
Yeah, I got a 7 too.
I also got a 7.
Alright, so everybody missed. Okay, so,
Oh,
unless,
sorry.
unless somebody, you can always do the math. If you can always tell me if you hit, right? Because you've got that list of bonuses and minuses and stuff.
I was gonna say I do have my bonus for my dexterity because it's really, really high, so I should have a +2 to that. So I guess a 9. That should hit, right?
Yep, roll for damage.
Unless they're far enough away. Okay.
Who are you
Finally,
targeting?
restore the honor.
Oh, Elias. Like, no question.
Obviously.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I did hit.
Okay.
Because I got a plus. I'm strong enough to get the bonus there, plus the skill, plus the range. That's short.
I got 14 damage.
Alright, yeah. You end Elias, and then there's 3 you easily mortally wound the other one. You have these people moaning and badly wounded. They will probably simply die, given how this place is in this alleyway.
I'm gonna loot Elias' body. What did he take from our ship?
I was gonna say I should have suspected it when that guy cheated at board games. You know, like.
All right, you find 2 things, and he's had this on him the whole time. You suspect a small data pad. Being that it is small, this would be high tech level, like tech level. And when I say high tech level, I mean for the bowman arm. So we're talking tech level 12. You know. And you also see when you loot him that he has a tattoo. And it looks like a symbol of like a concave symbol with something striking it, and it's almost like something. It's like it's a stylized presentation of something entering an atmosphere.
Okay. Interesting. I haven't seen this mark before.
No, you have not.
Okay, I'll just make a note.
Yeah, and so eventually these people will die unless Doc Ocean. Now I don't want to do torture scenes or anything. So, and if you want to try to interrogate one of them, Doc Ocean will need to try to. Well, actually, what is your intelligence for Doc Ocean?
7.
Okay. And you have a +3 to medical, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, if you wanted to try to interrogate one of them, I would allow for a single check to do so, and but Doc Ocean would need to make them conscious 2d6 +3 dice modifier to get 8.
Do y'all even want to try, or do you just want to leave them be?
I want to try.
It's worth a check.
Okay. I will do my best.
Yeah, so you
10.
yeah easily pass. I'm going to do a reaction roll. All right, I dropped the d6, so we'll roll another one. I think it was bad anyway. I got Snake Eyes. He comes to, and he's just like, I'll die before I tell you anything. But you notice something. He is a veteran of the 5th Frontier War.
Well, we'd never seen that symbol before, though, huh?
Nope.
Well, and die then, I guess.
Alright. Now, it takes you 2 days, so let's see, that's 17, brings you to 19 days total. And that gives you a taxi over to, and then let me see how long the taxi takes. I think I said it took 2 days.
We're gonna have to ask what's-his-face about this, maybe. Some of our friends in the Reavers.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it does take 2 days because you got to go from Bowman Prime to the Outer Edge, so it's 48 hours. So that's 21 days so far.
Guess we could ask the Sword Worlders too.
Who do you want to ask about this tattoo? Is that what you're?
Anybody? I mean, well, the two parties I was thinking of was the Sword Worlders and the Reavers.
Okay. All right.
Or with those Bella and Bellas, just you never know.
And obviously, I think at this point, books. This tells you what you need to know. This person was indeed a spy. Like, you don't need to try to ask around. They know who you are, and they were trying to kill you for some reason.
Okay.
What did I say?
Oh, wait till I send you the screenshot when we're done. It's fun.
What did I say?
So, Sword Whirlers. So, all right, you get back on board your ship, or I'm sorry, on the taxi. You head to this. Let's see here. And, the taxi, it stops out here. There's this kind of like rigmarole where they do a security check and everything. And the taxi operator in this case is a sword worlder himself, or sword world, or a border worlder, if you accept the imperial parlance for it. And you have to get out in a vac suit and travel in your vac suit with your gear into an airlock, and then you get onto the other side, and you're put in a waiting room, and eventually Borvi comes to meet you, and he says, "Your ship is prepared."
Thank you, my friend.
Well, I think you'll find that we're true to our word, and I think you'll find that the hammer of the Sword Worlds and of the Voden's Eye, one of its two fists, is quite effective.
Well, what do you know about these guys? I say.
Yeah, and you draw the tattoo symbol somewhere.
Well, Shipley, you took it down.
Yes. Yeah, I show him kind of a I don't know, reasonably accurate representation.
Looks at it. I know nothing, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Never seen this before.
Well, neither had we. Must be some new group in town.
That wants to kill us.
Well, we have a symbol. We get tattoos.
That's a
We
good
should.
idea. That's a good idea.
We have a reputation bad enough that people are sending spies out after us. I mean, it's bad
We
time.
deserve to do.
Yeah, we got to work the marketing angle, you know.
Yeah.
That's what Borvi says. Is he's like, well, join the club, eh? And he just like slaps you upside the arm.
I guess tattoos, you know, beards, braids, and stuff. That's your guys' thing. We need like Letterman jackets or something, or like.
If you ever want to find us again, I am afraid to say, don't come here.
Too hot, huh?
No, you're not allowed. Imperials aren't
Oh.
allowed on this station. This is the end of our arrangement. You come here, we'll kill you.
Understood.
It's
Great.
refreshing how blunt and honest they are.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I guess this is goodbye then.
farewell.
Unless we see you elsewhere. You're saying you're not saying you're gonna kill us if you see us elsewhere, but if we come here.
He smiles and then walks off. And here you are back on the Lady of Mercia, the 200-ton free trader Beowulf class free trader, and your ship is yours again, and you're back out in space. I assume you want to go to Squalia? Is that the next staying on the plan?
That is the plan.
Okay.
As I understand it.
In that case, you must travel. Let's see. You have to travel to a safe jump point from Bowman Prime, which at this point I will actually say is 17 hours from the regular orbital path. You just have to go out here. Actually, I'll just say it's even shorter because like you're all the way out here now. So a few hours. 7. You have a peaceful journey.
Does this mean that our business with the scout ship is done? We dropped off the arrow at Koenig's Rock, leaving it there?
That's right. Yeah, business is done. I don't know why all these people are still in the cargo bay. This isn't old. I guess I duplicated it back when kind of maybe you're having some PTSD about what happened with the Vargar there. I don't know. But anyways, you're leaving the Bowman system, so you don't need this anymore. And you get to a safe jump distance in the Bowman system. You enter jump space. You're there for a week. So you're there for a week, traveling. You've just got your regular crew back. No weirdos on board or anything like that. Yeah, and it takes a week to get to the Squalia system. Pretty sure. Bowman Squalia, yeah, direct jump. And after a week, about 168 hours, books. How are the engines? Forgot to ask about that after bringing her out of the dock.
We have 8 for the engines.
8. This is the retro future of the 70s here, so I like to imagine that these are, there's some manual aspects to this. So the scout ship, maybe has like an actual, I don't know, like a cyclic or something that you actually you use to fly. I like to imagine that because this is a Beowulf, like a free trader, you've got this big a yoke like this, and Chapman, you have not had your hands on a big yoke of a free trader now in what, 3 months, 2 months? Wait, and you're not the pilot anymore.
No,
It's
I'm the pilot
anyways
now.
Bellamy. So it's been a long time for you.
Oh yeah, no, this is great. This
and
is fantastic.
you can feel like the kind of the humming of the fusion drives through this ship. You can tell that it has weight to it and this displacement, and you've got this yoke, and you can feel it as it backs away and departs from that dock, and then they escort you out, and the lady becomes part of your body.
Awesome.
I should ask, is navigation harder on the lady than on the scout ship, since it's not?
It is. Yeah, you don't get
gotta
your
pull up the accent.
yeah +2 dice modifier. Yeah, in books, as you go out, everybody's in their vac suits. They're strapped in. You got your weapons on. You're sealed up and everything, because you're in that initial phase before you get out to cruise. In books, you bring up on a multifunction display, or maybe it's not a multifunction display. Maybe it's like a CRT, and it only displays in monochrome lines stats about the engines. And they kind of come up in a eye blazing, like burn your eyeballs out monochrome green. These engines are humming. The lady is in great shape.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. And,
Awesome.
You also are able to travel out to the jump point without a problem. Spend a week in jump space, and you exit jump space. 168 hours later, what's the result of the nav check? 10. Nice. Let me bring up
Easy.
Squalia. Yeah, easy. With a 10, you bring it in. You are just as soon as you bring the sensors up for Squalia. Let's see here. Squalia. Just has 5 planets, no gas giants, and it's a yellow-white star. And in fact, this place, it almost feels like, well, you wouldn't know what this is, because you all are not even human in this sense. You're not Solomani. But it's like Sol. Like there's, a number of main planetary bodies around a yellow star. It at least looks like it. And as you get closer to Squalia Prime, it is a beautiful blue dot with a swirling, massive weather system swirling above a beautiful, oxygen-rich ocean world. And you know that for Bellamy and for Shipley, the job you did was off toward, further out in the solar system, in one of the planetary belts on a planet. But you have to land at the low port here. So you do a atmospheric entry, Bellamy, into this world. You feel the ship shake. Everybody gets their stuff on. Oh wait, I forgot. Nice. Yeah, no problems. I think there's no problems. Let me double check, actually. Sure I'm not. Oh yeah. Oh, you're good. Yeah. Peaceful journey for 5 hours. You do this deorbit with the lady. You contact the control tower, and you immediately receive a bunch of information through the Ott Park Federation's communications. It just goes straight into the lady, and it's similar to what you received when you landed at Elizabeth. And it's a bunch of, hey, here we're under a bunch of like security protocols now, and alert systems are happening, and all this kind of stuff. These are things to be wary of, and you just get all this information, like a bunch of warnings.
Is any of it? Do they have like a dangerous persons warning list? And
Yes.
Are we on it?
Yes and no. You're not on it.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah. Now, this is not an imperial world, but it's a balkanized world like ours, like Earth, with a bunch of countries and stuff, and but of course it's more complicated than that. But anyways, you land by entering into one of the underwater settlements of Squalia. And there are these like underwater cities, these domes and towers underneath that stretch on for miles. And this is the Otpark Federation. It's the kind of main starport of the planet and one of the larger countries in the planet. And you land there, and you head out. And let's see. Something that you immediately notice is all the displays cycle a message. Let me see if I can. It's not a really super great scene. Let me see if I can find a better one. I'm just going to put you on your patron encounter. Well, that's not good either. This one. So, you get out, you're starting to head through customs, and there's some display screens in places, kind of like, TVs, like at the starport. And every so often, the Imperial Sunburst will show up. And you notice that, like, the Imperial Sunburst, that depending on its color and the field it's on, represents different things, like the Imperial Navy or the Scout Service or the Royal family or the nobility. And this one is the royal symbol. And it'll like come on and it'll wave, and then there'll be some notices, and then you see a man, a rather portly man, with a cropped, like a beard, and partially bald, and he's got a Imperial Navy uniform on, and you immediately recognize the rank as a too far back here. Admiral, anyways. And I'm trying to find the ranks. Let's see, it probably just stops there. Navy Admiral, yeah, so it's an Admiral. And I didn't know if they had like 2-star, 3-star admirals, stuff like that. But and he's giving a message, basically, and again, this is not an Imperial world, but it just loops. And then it'll go away, and there'll be other stuff, like the passenger board even has this. The passenger board and cargo board will come back up, and it'll stay up for 15 minutes, and then it'll go back and loop that message again.
Is it just, what is it? What's the message?
I'm going to do my monologue.
Oh.
I will tell you the message.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Yes. What is this? Here it is. I am Admiral Jebediah Hopekul, Supreme Commander of the Iterati's First Fleet. We have declared martial law throughout District 268 on behalf of His Grace Sir Bledy Alexander Hulisin Adarkai III. You have been beset by criminals and thieves, and now they have dared raise their hand against His Grace. No more. You are all now privileged to be clients of His Grace and the Third Imperium, and we will bring an end to this menace and to these terrorists. Starports and security vessels are being updated with our guidance and representatives of Iterati. They have been sent to all solar governments in the Bowman Arm. If you cooperate, no harm will come to you. And together, we will bring District 268 into a future that will secure a grander, more prosperous worlds across the Spinward Marches than it has ever known. And then it goes back to that flag again.
Oh boy.
And you can also see that there are, so on Rally, there were like these black uniformed with helmeted, guards, and there are a bunch of them among the customs officials.
Great. Well, I don't see how it changes anything for us.
Gonna put the Reavers on edge.
Alright, so, you guys gonna try to go find, Vampire Landleth?
Yes.
Alright.
And get Lothak some fresh fish, because she's probably been dying.
Needs protein again?
Yeah.
She appreciates the protein. Whoops. Let's see here. You find in short order, Vampire Landleth is a Doc Ocean. You weren't here at that time, so he is a
Wait, before we go do anything, are we splitting up so the new people aren't with the group that came here last time?
Yeah, Books and Chapman are supposed to go, and I guess Doc Ocean can go with them, but mainly.
I guess we could have done the review on the ship, but
Is
I
there
assume we did.
anything else we might be doing around here, or do we just want to hang out on the ship?
Well, it'd be nice to get a little bit of a sense of the lay of the land here politically, since we've been here last. But you could probably get that from, well, anyway, yeah. I don't know.
I think those PSAs from His Honor the Duke kind of told us what we need to know.
Yeah, well, I think I could add a little, a little detail, a little granularity to that, essentially. So, just describing this from last time, because Doc Ocean wasn't here. So, Squalia is a water planet, and after you leave the starport, and go outside of customs, everything kind of narrows, and everything is like this tube, honeycomb kind of structure, like a ant hive that goes everywhere. It feels claustrophobic everywhere, and it also kind of feels like the whole place has this sterile chemical smell, like a hospital. And everything, all these tunnels and corridors have a bland teal, curvy appearance. They're breaking up the chemical smell. There are all kinds of seafood joints, and they smell, if you like seafood, really, really good. The last time you were here, there were civil disruptions that you would run into maybe 2 or 3 times. You see none of that, and you see smaller and fewer crowds, and you also see patrols of these black uniformed guards that go up and down these corridors. And that's kind of what you see going on. It's clear to you that this, even though this is not an Imperial world, the threat of a cruiser being parked in orbit above this planet is something that would bring every one of these countries to heel. And the largest country, the Federation of Otpark, is complying with Duke Iterati.
Yeah, well, that figures, I guess. I think we should just sort of send Books and Chapman to do their little thing and then follow them up.
All right, Books and Chapman, are you going to kind of ask around kind of obliquely in bars about stuff, or are you going to just try to hunt this guy down and ask him directly about the AI?
Don't forget, talking about AI like you know something is like treason. So be careful.
It's like asking for like plutonium or like a nuclear warhead, you know. Hey, you got any nukes? Like, you know.
In that case, I'm thinking the direct approach. What do you think, Chapman?
I'm okay with that. I think actually, yeah, let's bring Doc Ocean with us. Let's make it a 3-person hunt.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm game.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Sounds good.
It's not hard to find him because he is a pretty major business personality. He is the owner of a company called Landleth Prospecting. At least that's one company he owns. And getting a meeting with him is not as easy, and you will need to make a admin or bribery check. So somebody will either have to have that or jack of all trades.
I have admin 1.
Then you can make the check. I'll say that since you're, you'll need to get an 8 on a 2d6, admin 1.
Do I add anything to that, or is it just a straight 2d6?
Yeah, it's just 2d6.
Okay. Nope.
Yeah. Coming in from the outside and trying to gain an audience with this, pretty significant business person is no easy thing. Now, you can take time to do this. If, you want to, delay having the main, the reps from the lady meeting with him, you could just take time. Well, yeah, that's about it. That's probably your only option right now.
We have to be super careful because I don't know if the designation of us as being enemies was only good on Raleigh or what, but it was issued by Iterati. They mentioned terrorists, and we've got. Anyway.
No, I agree. We definitely have to be careful.
We get help from a lawyer over this sort of thing. I don't know how good that is, but.
Well, I was just about to say, so you spend one day looking around. I'm going to make my checks here. This is going from the starport. Got Snake Eyes, and then you were going to find him, so I got one for both. So, you're able to keep your head low, and none of the guards get involved or anybody else. No one recognizes you as far as you can tell. But the second day, so now everybody goes to a hotel. The second day, you get a message at the hotel desk, and for Doc Ocean, Books, and Chapman, a Carl wishes to speak with you at the hotel restaurant.
Let's go visit Carl.
All right.
Aye.
Let's see here. Oh, go ahead.
Let me see. Books, you hang back somewhere else in the restaurant. You have a good view of what's going on, but like near an exit or something, just in case, I don't know, somebody pops out and tries to shoot us.
Okay, I'll keep lookout.
All right. So is it? It's Doc Ocean and Chapman.
Yeah.
All right. So you recognize this person in a nice suit, someone already enjoying their lunch. They did not wait on you. Is Mr. Carl Rockamundra of McClellan. Wipes his mouth, looks at you, Chapman. He says, "Hello, Mr. Chapman. Where's Books? Where's the rest of your crew?"
We've got a lot of affairs going on during our time here in Squalia, so we just thought, easier to cover more ground if we split up. Kind of a busy schedule, you understand.
Well, I'm afraid that affairs are not my area of legal expertise, Mr. Chapman. Just an attorney joke. Please, take a seat.
All right, we do.
And he says, I'm glad to see that you've made it. I was beginning to think that we would have had to have made other arrangements. But the nearly 250,000 credits is still in order for you, and we also have some other things that you might find useful. And he puts a case on the table.
All right. We'll discreetly take a look at that.
You like open, look at the case. Inside of the case is a bunch of credentials and ID tags and identification, and at the bottom of the case are a bunch of vouchers and a load of credits for some nice clothes.
Is this what starting over looks like? Because I'm surprised how tightly you can fit that into just such a small container. Whole new life.
Funny you should mention that. I don't mean any offense by this, Mr. Chapman, but I don't suppose anyone in your crew has some experience as a liaison or when they were in the military, an aide-de-camp, or worked with the state, or an embassy, or anything like that.
Yeah, I think we can maybe help you out there. Why do you ask?
Well, it might prove useful in this case. Have you met with our mutual friend yet? He means Vampire Landleth.
Well, like I said, we have a lot of business that my crew is currently working on right now, so...
I see. Well,
as I understand it, the others should be covering that as we speak.
You'll want to maybe accelerate some of those affairs, Mr. Chapman, because a lot has happened here in the past 3 weeks, and we're running out of time. You'll want to speak with Vampire Landleth soon, and when you do not reveal our conversation or my presence here or anything that's in that case. Everything in that case will allow you to act as purchasers from Kelstar LLC. This will give you a direct in with the Sea Harvester executives. When you do that, we want you to find out who is responsible at Sea Harvester for them violating Imperial law, which in the last 3 weeks we have confirmed is indeed happening. Or has happened, as it were.
Sounds nice and doable to me.
When you're ready, we'll have transportation available in the business section of Pegasus Starport. You'll need to take a taxi here from Ott Park to Pegasus and in the Phocia province. And from that business starport, you'll meet with a public affairs representative from Sea Harvester, one Mr. Jorge Chan. That's as much of a direct in as we can provide, but Mr. Chan believes that you are purchasers of the medical product that Sea Harvester is obtaining.
Apologies, Ross. I'm taking notes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually quite excited. I'm willing to share that with Carl, just that this is a lot more than we're used to working with. You know, we have to do a lot more improvisation normally, so I much appreciate being one of the more convenient business partners we've had to work with in some time.
I'm very happy to hear that, Mr. Chapman. Now, lunch is on me, but I'm afraid I had to finish early, so I have my own affairs that I have to deal with. So, best of luck, Mr. Chapman. We'll want to hear from you. You can find me here if you leave a message with this hotel staff. That message will be secure if given to the staff.
I give him a healthy handshake and say a pleasure as always.
All right. So a day passes. Are you going to make one more attempt, Doc Ocean, to find Vampire Landleth on your own? Or are you going to take a different approach, or are you going to have the whole crew? Now, if the crew does it, they know who Vampire Landleth is. But then, of course, you lose the chance to maybe ask about the AI.
I mean, I'm willing to give it another shot if you all are.
All right. Let's see. Day 2. And this is... keeping track here. That is 7 days, and bring us to 8. So you're 30 days so far this session. Man, 30 days in a session.
Yeah. Good thing we have a bunch of cash.
Yeah. Oh, we're moving fast too. Yeah.
Most of the session felt like you finished a big project and you get to close like 20 tabs in your browser finally.
All right. Well,
we haven't even addressed the second window yet, though.
Yeah. So, Doc Ocean, your admin skill. I'm also curious, what does it look like? Like, what are you doing here in this undersea, cavernous city to try to find the business owner of this Landleth prospecting company?
I start by looking in the yellow pages, which I assume are a real thing now.
Exactly.
Like, since we're back in time. Yeah. Start looking through the yellow pages, and then I start contacting other developers to see if I can get an in that way. Yeah.
All right, roll 2d6 to get an 8. Dang.
Ooh, so close.
All right, a second day passes, and you're running out of time to get this job done, and you have 2 weeks.
Yeah. We just need to go to the meeting, I think. Just as a crew.
All right. Unfortunately, you do that. So you arrive. You set up a meeting with Vampire Landleth. It does take another day because he doesn't, make it. He may actually be somewhere else on the planet. So let's see. That's 31 days. And he says, "Oh, good to see you again. Whoa, where's Mr. Marcello?"
He went his own way.
Oh, I hate to hear that. I suppose that could be the life of a traveler sometimes, though.
Sure can.
Very well. Well, it's good to see you again. I promised you a job. We're delivering that and bringing justice to McClellan, and I have a job for you, and it pays quite well. And we can end McClellan's grip on this planet. In fact, this martial law thing that's coming from the Iterati Colonial Authority, it's good timing, actually, for our independent operation. We could use this time to clean house, get these corporations out of this solar system.
What's the job?
He crosses his arms, leans back. I'm sensing a bit of an icy tone, Captain. Is everything okay?
Shipley's gonna step in and say that it's been we've had considerable difficulties since we left, and a lot of them had to do with the corporations. So, while the last time we met, our loyalties weren't quite decided on who to support here. We've since hardened our stance a bit.
I mean, have you seen all those commercials?
She put it way better than me. That's for daggone sure.
I see. I hate to hear that. You know, I wish that you'd stuck around and kept working for me. I've had some jobs come and go since then. But,
Sir Shipley nods and blinks this week. We've often thought the same ourselves.
yeah. Well,
I give Shipley a look. I turn around and walk a few steps away across the office.
oh, man.
These corps, you know what I'm saying? These corporations.
Trying to find the pay. Oh, 100,000 credits. Yeah, so he says, all right, the bottom line is McClellan Industries has a subsidiary here on Squalia in another nation state, and they're conducting an illegal operation that falls outside the bounds of imperial law. So, yes, again, precisely. It'll be easily enough evidence to end their operations here and drive them out of this solar system.
Wait, so the AI wasn't enough evidence?
I'm afraid not. The AI had to be handled delicately, but it was part of a broader plan that's coming together.
Oh, yeah.
Aye, yeah. But, well, anyways, there's a Xeno rights group here on Squalia. They're called the Pan-Galactic Friends of Life, and they have been watching some of the we have some outdated customs here on Squalia. You see, it's part of our culture. They're regrettable. When locals do it, it's one thing, but off-world opportunists from a mega corporation, I think that this group might have found its smoking gun. And there's this massive sea life here called a Dagadasi. It's a city-sized maritime organism. And in order for them to get the drugs they need, this subsidiary is killing them. So, I have a contact with the Pan-Galactic Friends of Life, and they can get you an in with the natives that live and hunt these things or whatever. Gain the evidence that this is happening. I give you 100,000 credits.
So, evidence that McClellan is involved in a whaling operation that is super illegal. That's the idea?
That's right. Good hard evidence. First hand. with your own eyes.
And then we just bring it back here to you?
It's that simple. My contact's name is Dr. Marc Ronaire. And they have an office in Focia, an autonomous nation-state where these Dagadase are hunted.
You know, whatever did happen to that AI?
Oh,
Smooth, Captain.
Captain, I don't know. Maybe you
Because
should...
it's occurred to me, and because I don't know much, you know, I'm just a simple traveler. But you're telling us you didn't report it? Because I feel like if there was evidence of an AI, that would be enough to get any corporation destroyed in the Imperium.
Yeah,
so
he...
just seems kind of weird that you want us to find evidence of a whaling operation when you've got evidence of, like, high treason.
He smirks, and you can tell that you managed to kind of hook his ego a little bit. That he is a man at the center of very great things, and something beyond the solar system. And he says, as I said, it had to be handled somewhat delicately, but it's quite the story. So I tell you what. You get back here with that evidence, and that we'll have time to talk for a while. I'll tell you the story of that AI.
Well, sounds like a story worth hearing.
That's where we'll end the adventure for the night.